I've been asked to talk to you about ICT or tech and how it fits into grade 5 here at Elmwood and the primary years program. Just interesting tech fact. The speed of computers and the amount of data they can store will double every 18 months. That's called Moore's Law. So in ICT, we're preparing students to be competent with technology and use software that doesn't even exist yet. The primary years program doesn't have a specific IT curriculum, but what they want us to do is use ICTs and use them to transform teaching and learning practices rather than as a standalone subject area. And what that basically boils down to is that ICT needs to be integrated into the regular classroom. And as you may have already heard, the units within a PYP school are the units of inquiry. And basically, as you can see, this little puzzle piece, all the different subjects like language, art, social studies, science, etc. are all part of that puzzle, including ICT. So, I'd say about 95% of the ICT lessons taught in grade 5 are integrated with the unit. And that's great for a few reasons. It strengthens the understanding of the class material while the kids develop tech skills, and they develop a lot of them. We do a lot of great things. One of the other great things about having the technology integrated is that I don't have to think of what exactly they're going to do. I just think of what technology we're going to use, and then we integrate it with whatever they're doing in that unit. So ICT is primarily a tool. And different areas we look at with ICT are collaboration, creation, communication, and inquiry of different ideas. So here's a typical unit of inquiry and showing the technology integration at a glance. So the unit we're going to look at is our body inside and out. And so what I looked at is the Canadian Food Guide and the Canada Physical Activity Guide. And we looked at, okay, well, how can we use information from that and what can we do? So I also wanted to teach the girls a little bit about how to make comic strips. So one of the things we did was we used an online comic creation to create comics about healthy living. So here's one example. This is about physical activity primarily. And then we did, here's another one, another student's. This one's about healthy eating. So you can see she's even included stuff right from the food guide right in her comic. Another thing we did was, again, with the same content, was create podcasts. And so this was a really multi-step thing. We started by taking the Canada Food Guide and Physical Activity Guide and then having them break things down into what they found interesting and then questions they had. So we actually interviewed a few experts for this podcast. One was Erin Derbyshire, and she was our expert on physical activity, and the other one was my friend who is a nutritionist, and he lives out in Vancouver.
Hi! Okay, so let's get it started. I'm going to hop out of the way and I'll let them do their thing.
Sure. Welcome, Richard Ralph. My name is Bronte. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do as a nutritionist?
Sure. As a nutritionist, I mainly
So we'll just skip ahead there. You get the idea. Sorry about the shaky filming. That wasn't me filming it. Okay, so then we took all the information they gathered from the experts and they came up with a podcast script. So this maybe looks a little bit like a script you might have for a piece of drama. You can see they've got questions, and then here it says cut into A3, which means they're going to paste in some audio from the interviews that they've done. All right, so that's the end of their script. And from that, they then...
Hello, my name is Ava. My name is Hannah. We are going to tell you about physical health. Imagine you're at the gym. You're heading towards the treadmill. But why the treadmill? Well, it's a cardiovascular exercise, and it gets your heart rate up. Why is it so important to get exercise? Well, you can ask that question again to our guest, Miss Derbyshire. Hello, Miss Derbyshire. So why is it important to exercise daily?
We definitely need exercise. No matter how old you are, exercise is really important. And the reason for that is because there's lots of benefits from exercise. So everything from good heart health to helping your muscles develop. It helps you mentally in terms.
So a hand for Mr. Derbyshire. Anyway, other integrations we did in this unit include a body systems report. So they picked one of the systems in the body and wrote a report about it. They broke this down into sections and wrote them in a bunch of different Word documents. And then what we did was we took all of those parts and pasted them together, and then created an interactive table of contents. So you can see these are the different sections of their report. It's written to a specific format, and you can click on those different parts of the table of contents and they hyperlink right into the document. So that's pretty cool. We also integrated this. The assessment is also integrated in this. So you can see this is the rubric we use to mark that system report, and there are different marks for each section of the report, and obviously writing is always a big part of that, and formatting, and then down here all the computer skills that I was looking for and I was marking is part of that as well. So what other stuff do they do in tech in grade 5? Well, we do a ton of stuff. Here is an example of some Photoshop. So they were learning about the Lascaux Caves, and so we explored the Lascaux Caves on a web page, and then they recreated a lot of the cave paintings they saw here in Photoshop. And then we also used Google SketchUp. They created a piece of ancient architecture. So we've got the Roman Colosseum. We've got, here we go, the Great Wall of China. And I think next we've got a pyramid in Giza. So they created this all, it's 3D drawing. And it's not too hard for them to create stuff like this in 3D. Other stuff we use, Inspiration. It's a great program for mind mapping and brainstorming and quickly generating ideas and even organizing your ideas and making decisions. So, the school network. They know all about the school network, how to organize their files, make folders, how to save on their H drive and their T drive, and put things in your inbox and get stuff from your outbox. They know all about our first class email system, how to keep their folders organized, how to attach files, and they even know about email etiquette. Hopefully they follow it. So, oh, I think we skipped one section here. So they also know obviously tons about Microsoft Office. They know how to use Word and PowerPoint and Publisher for making brochures and making flyers and all that sort of stuff. And we use Google Docs a lot as well. It's similar to Microsoft Office except for everything's online, so they can't lose their work. It saves automatically for them. Sometimes it can be slow, but it's no big deal. They don't need to save or email it. There are no problems with version control because they never have to say, oh, which was the one that I sent home and which is the one I attached. And the best part about Google Docs is the real-time collaboration. We do lots of other things. Wikis, Animoto, blogs, Prezi, that's the tool I'm using right now to present this to you, and many, many, many other things. So here's one last quote. The top 10 in-demand jobs in 2010 didn't exist in 2004. And so we're currently preparing students for jobs that don't even exist yet. And that comes from a video called Shift Happens. So I hope that gave you a good overview of what goes on in grade 5. Email me if you have any questions. Thanks.